England scored 6 goals in an 8-goal thriller at the Khalifa International Stadium, meaning they have their first win of the 2022 Qatar World Cup. And Bailey, they were in control for pretty much the whole game.
Yeah, it was in control from the start of the game, mate, from all the way from Pickford to, obviously started off in a 4-2-3-1 system with Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham in the middle of the park, all the way up to Mason Mount as the 10 roll. I thought it was a very easy 6-2 victory for England, obviously despite us conceding 2 goals, one via a penalty, and an absolute cracker in the second half for Iran.
And despite being under Southgate, we played some good football at times, didn't we, Joe?
Yeah, some great football. I thought the overlapping of the fullbacks was definitely a different approach from Gareth Southgate. I also liked Mason Mount in that 10 role. It's not really a role that England are well known for playing, probably since Gaza, to be honest. But him and Jude Bellingham linking up was great to see. Some lovely long balls and what have you. So, yeah, really good start.
And before the game, there was a lot of talk about England not being in good form, but the team looked like a really together and showed really a good spirit, didn't they, today?
I thought one thing I definitely picked up on in the game was Jordan Pickford's distribution. I don't think he's actually particularly that quite good at Everton, but today, being involved in two goals today, obviously a really good save at the end. I thought Pickford was a very underrated player for man of the match today.
And they scored all types of goals, didn't they? We had the goal from the set piece with Maguire's head down and Saka's finish, and then we also had some good counter-attacking goals like the goal at the end from Wilson, so a good thing for England, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it's good to have a bit of difference in your goal contributions and what you like to see from England. We seem to classically be a team that try and hoof it up. You know, we've always had a big striker and that's how we played our football, but it's nice to start to see, I won't say tiki-taka because that's a bit of disrespect to Barcelona and Johan Cruyff, but we did play some really good football and some nice, unique goals. It was nice to see Sterling getting up the wing a little bit and also cutting inside, which, you know, is part of his portfolio. It's what he does best. And it's nice to see Gareth Southgate start to take charge and think, these players like playing in this system, so we're going to play it. This team is so much better than a 5 at the back, 2 CDMs, and he's worked really well with that system. So I'm really proud of him today.
And I was just going to mention that to Bailey as well, because Southgate obviously did play that 4 at the back, but the full-backs still got forward and we still had a lot going on in midfield, and the centre-backs were very much involved in play, weren't they?
Yeah, a pure example, Jude Bellingham this season for Borussia Dortmund's been playing more in that 6 role with Emre Can, and today he was getting really forward, at times getting into the 10 role out on the right as well, and obviously while also staying in that 6 role in the 4-2-3-1 setup, which I think Jude Bellingham was a massive advocate of why we played so well today, obviously, on to that point.
And the squad depth that we've got was shown by the subs coming on, 4 coming on, and then within about 2 or 3 minutes, Rashford scored his goal. So that's a good thing for going forward, isn't it?
Yeah, I do think so. But I also, at the same time, I don't want us, like we did in the Euros, to keep chopping and changing. I'd like to see this team right now stay for a bit. If we lose, okay, change. But I think right now, with the system that we've started to play this game and the players we've got, why not keep it, see what happens? Because like in the match, we were saying about how they seem more as an actual team rather than a country full of different players from different clubs. You often see, like in the golden era under Sven in 2006, you had a load of amazing players, but they weren't a football team. And today has shown that we're more together, we have the spirit, and let's just go do something.
And obviously it's 6, but there was a 2 at the end. Should we be concerned by the 2 goals conceded, or was it just a case of taking the foot off the pedal?
I feel it was more foot off the pedal, to be honest. We went, obviously, the first goal that we conceded was an unbelievable goal. Obviously, a lack of concentration by Maguire. And then the second goal, the penalty, I think, obviously, is 50-50. Some people may say it's a penalty, obviously, pulling shirts and stuff. But in my opinion, I don't think it was quite a penalty, but you two may disagree with that.
I was going to touch on that, Joe, because obviously in the first half there was an incident where Maguire could have possibly had a penalty, and then they didn't look at that one, but they looked at Iran's one. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think we really need to be careful this World Cup about VAR, and when you mix it in with everything else that is, you know, the discourse that's happening about the World Cup, the opener, there was a very shoddy offside given through VAR, and although I probably would agree that Iran's penalty was a penalty, the fact that Harry Maguire's was looked at for more than not more than 10 seconds. I think they need to be careful about that because people will start asking questions.
And just finally, lads, any early predictions, or are you not sticking your neck out yet?
To be honest with you, I said from the start of the tournament I think Argentina will win the World Cup, but for me, as an England fan, I just want to see us play nice football and try and go as far as I possibly can. But on to the Southgate point, back to the point where players from different clubs, I think that's one thing Southgate should be getting a lot of credit for. Obviously, with players from Liverpool, Manchester United, you think, they won't get on. But if you watch the training videos, the press conferences, they all love each other and they all get on quite a lot. And I think that's something that Southgate has brought to this England camp.
I'd like to see Messi bring it home, to be honest. Obviously, I'd like to see England win, but I think Argentina.
Thank you, lads, and we can now go pitch side, where Harry Kane is speaking to Pippa Thornton.